Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my first episode. First or second. The first one was an intro, so I'm counting this as my first episode. Okay, so recap of the week. I've had 4 haircuts. One of them was my brother, so I just gave him the haircut for free. And I've made 25, $75 this week. So my original goal was to have 4 or 5 haircuts. I've had 3 haircuts. I have an upcoming haircut, so that's 4. So I completed my goal of the week for 4 haircuts, but one of them was my brother, so it doesn't count because I gave him a free haircut. And I didn't get footage of my first haircut. I only got footage of my second. But here, I'll give it to you guys right here.
Boom. So here I am. I already went in with my 3 guard. And what I'm doing now is I got my 1.5. I already went in with a 3. And I set my little guidelines around his hair. I think we're doing, looks like we're doing a mid fade around the ear. We're not fading it as much, so we can leave a line. Leave it cleaner around the sides. And yeah, so we're fading around. We go in with, after we debulk and we set our lines, we set up our little spot with the trimmers, and then we go over with the 3. So it looks like right here, we're going over with the 1.5, starting with our first. We're going over the ears. This guy's looking around like, damn, bro, when is this guy going to finish his haircut? Shut up and cut my hair already. And dang, bro, look, my clippers are almost dead too. That sucks. So yeah, here I am going around the ear with my 1.5. The guy's still looking around. Damn, bro, this guy's got to clean up his place, clean up his garage. This guy's a loser. Okay, so now we're going around the ears a little bit with my 1.5. Okay, boom. We just finished with the 1.5. I go 1.5 open, and then I don't close it. And then I go to 1 open, work out my little guideline first. Once I get the shape around there, then I start to close it. And I normally go from 1 all the way open to 1 all the way closed. And I have to, when it's 1 closed, I normally have to dig in there a little harder, get my clippers flatter on the hair, because I go with the 1 from 1 to no guard. And typically it's harder to get rid of the line when it's no guard to 1. So I'll have to lay my guards flatter to get rid of more hair. Okay, so right here, it looks like I'm going over with 1 guard closed, and I'm blending out that second guideline I made. So the first one is 1.5. The second one is 1 guard. And then the last guideline is going to be no guard. And right now I'm blending out the second line with my closed 1 guard. Looks like my clippers are almost dead. And clean up the front a little bit, making sure it's all nice. Not going too much around the ear so I can keep it darker. Okay, now we're going over with a no guard, getting rid of that last line. And here you can really see it cut hair. Yeah, now you can see a big difference when I'm cutting the hair. Flicking out with my 1 open. Have to flick a little bit harder because it's from no guard to 1 guard. So flicking harder, getting rid of that line. Okay, so now we're going over with no guard. Going in, I like to flick out especially hard because I don't have anything in between no guard to 1. So I'll have to flick out to get rid of the line. And I think I messed up a little bit, not crazy, where I gave him a bald spot or something like that, but I didn't give myself enough room to work between the fade. So if I gave myself a little bit more room, then the fade could have turned out better, but it's not like hair-threatening mistake. Boom, there we go. Now you can kind of see it. You can see it get lighter, but you can really tell the difference when I start to close the guard. And boom, there we go. I just flipped it down to halfway open, clean up the back, getting rid of that line. Right here, going over the front, getting rid of the, clean up a little bit with my open guard, open, no guard. Then I close a little bit, clean up the back. About to do the same to the front again, getting rid of that first little guideline. You can still see the line in there, so I'll go over it eventually and get rid of it. And there we go. That's how it looks in the end. And I'm closed guard. And then after I do my closed all the way, no guard, then I go in with my trimmers just a little bit so I can make sure it's completely no hair. And like I said earlier, since I didn't give myself much room, it's kind of hard to fit it in there, but I still somewhat managed to make it work, although it doesn't look the cleanest. I just know for the future, I'll give myself more space, especially for the no guard. And then we're at the end of the haircut right here. I'm going around the ears a little bit, making it look nice and clean. And I'm not done with the haircut. I'm just done with this side of the fade. Later on, I work on the top and then the other side as well. But yeah, right here, going around the ears a little bit, making it clean. And sometimes I go over on the sides and the back just to make sure there's no hair. And it gives it more of a cleaner look and lasts for a little bit longer. Nice. That's the end of this recording. And here's some after footage.
And yeah, so I got 3 of those clips together. I got a video of me doing the haircut and then some after clips, which is awesome. So I'll insert those right there. And I like this because then I can motivate myself to do more videos. So I just did my first investment of the week. I bought, so this is Black Friday, I had to get something. I didn't have any nice shears. I didn't have nice scissors. I didn't have nice shears. So I had to get some Black Friday ones. And then I got a feather razor as well. So that's awesome. I got some good stuff coming, and I'm excited to get them. My stuff. So that's my first investment I've made of the week and my first investment of the episode. Of the series.
Now we're on to our next guy. This is my brother. So I gave him a free cut. And we're putting on the cape, making sure it's not too tight. Now we're going over with our 3 guard, debulking a little bit, and getting our setup looking nice so we can set up the hair and make it look clean before we start cutting it. Now it looks like we got the 1.5 guard. No, it might still be the 3. Alright, so now we're going over with our 1.5 guard, getting that first guideline in. And I do 1.5 open, and then I don't close it. So I go 1.5 straight to 1 right after this. So now we got the 1 open guard, going in, making it nice and round, making sure I'm prioritizing the shape of the fade over the actual fade itself. I come it down every now and then, so it keeps the hair straight, and then the fade at the end will look better. Now I'm closing my guard, combing it again, making sure I don't go past my guideline. I do that sometimes and mess it up, so I need to work on it. Right here, I'm pressing on the skin a little harder, making sure my blade is flat on it, so I'm getting all the hairs. Now we got our closed. No, sorry. Now we got our no guard open. Like I said earlier, making sure we're making it round instead of a straight line, more of a curve. And then we're going halfway with our guard. Boom, halfway. Looking out a little bit, and then soon we're going to close it all the way. And looks like I put it back out. So it's open guard now. And making sure I get that last little line out from no guard to 1. all the way closed, getting that last little guideline out. And you can see as you slowly start doing it, it gets lighter and lighter. Using the corners of my clippers. He's looking at his haircut. I asked him, do you like that length? He said, how about we go a little bit higher? So right here, I'm going to go with my 1.5 and bring it up a little bit higher. Right here, I'm bringing it up. Make it a little bit higher because that's what he asked for. Going over with a 3. Now we're lining up the back and the sides of the hair. This really makes it look clean at the end. Looks like I already got his C-cups from that clip. It cut short, but I got his C-cups, and then around the ears is what really makes it look clean afterwards. Going around, cutting the back a little bit. Here, the ears are my favorite part. And it looks so much better when you're done with that. So boom, there we go. Now he's looking at it. He likes it, and I'm taking a little video. And here's what it looks like.